Hi guys, it's Gary here. I'm going to be sharing a bit on the contact and inviting process, the second step in our Wheel of Fortune in this business of ours. And I think that this is a very, very important skill to actually master because a lot of us have big aspirations, goals, and visions that we want to achieve in this business, but sometimes we struggle to actually pick up that phone and start calling people and actually do the doing. So I'm hopefully going to be teaching you guys something on actually getting, the process of getting people to see this amazing opportunity and the special company that we are part of. So I hope that you can learn something out of this, and I'm basically going to be sharing everything that I've learned from my upline directors in this company. So I hope it can be of benefit to each and every one of you. So I'm going to be running through a few points, and I'm going to start off by saying, that in this business, phoning people and actually, getting going, people sometimes think that you have to firstly be somebody of great stature or somebody who has a good reputation out there in your community, but that's not entirely the case. You will ultimately become somebody of substance, and you will achieve greatness in this business if you stick and hang around long enough. But in the beginning, you need to be very excited, and people will ultimately learn to trust you if you do the right things, and if you actually apply the skills which I'm going to share with you now. So you can throw that one out of the window. So don't be scared to contact people, even if you feel like you are not worthy to do that, because ultimately you are. Another thing that I just want to mention with regards to contacting people and phoning people is that in this industry of network marketing, or in this profession rather, we're not hunters. We're not people who hunt people down, who actually, at the end of the day, irritate people because of the way that we go about our business. We want to become professional at what we do, as professional as possible, and so I'd like to think of us more as farmers, who, if you think of a farmer, what a farmer does is he plants seeds all the time. He's busy planting seeds and giving the seeds time to grow, to nurture, and ultimately to develop into something great. So I think relationships is a very, very, very key ingredient and aspect in our business of network marketing. So it's not going to help you go around hunting people just looking for a sign up, because the person who you're ultimately going to be speaking to is going to feel that you most probably don't really care about him. You're just looking to make something or to make a sign up out of him. So ultimately, we want to build relationships. That's a very, very key thing with regards to our business, and which will also help you at the end of the day when getting people to review our opportunity. So gone are the days of the yes, no, I've got to go. I think we've all heard that a lot. Or rather, some will, some won't, so what? That's you can go that route if you like. I know some might think of it that way, but ultimately you want people to start trusting you in this business. You want people to start knowing for what you stand for, and ultimately, like I said, building a relationship with people. So no is not now, or rather, no is not never. It's just not now. So keep on building a relationship with your people. Keep on building a relationship with new people that you get involved with, or new people that you meet, so that people can learn to trust you, and so that people can ultimately see what you stand for. So I'm gonna go through a few rules which I think is crucial with regards to contacting people. The first rule is actually getting yourself out of the way. We always say go for no, and I think that's a very, very powerful statement. Go for no. Get yourself out of the way, meaning emotionally detach yourself from the outcome. if you are able to do this, it would make life so much easier for you during the contacting process. I think some of us, like I said, you're so keen to get this person involved, or you're so keen to get this meeting set up that the way you handle the contacting process, you're so anxious and maybe afraid or scared of what the person is going to think of you. We've all been through that, and that's just making life hard for yourself. So get yourself out of the way and actually get your emotions out of the way as well. So I feel that's a very important aspect. And always know this, guys, is that go for no. You already have a no by not calling somebody or by not picking up that phone. So you might as well go for a yes. Once again, everything's going to come back to your why as well. If you have a big enough why and you have a big enough reason for building this business, that phone won't be heavy, and ultimately you'd actually do anything to get this business going. So get yourself out of the way. That's the first thing, the first rule. The second rule is to actually be yourself. Be yourself. Be who you are. Don't change your tone of voice when speaking to somebody. And I think I struggled with this in the beginning, because sometimes you don't really know what to say, or maybe you're not 100% convinced of this opportunity yourself, and you actually change your tone of voice. And you don't actually be yourself. The moment you start speaking about this opportunity, it's almost like you've become a new person. So be yourself, be relaxed, and just have fun. And that actually leads into rule number 3, which is being passionate and excited. I find that's key to when contacting somebody. Be excited, be passionate, have a conviction about this business that you've got involved in, and that you ultimately want to present to the world. Be confident. Get that something that actually gets you excited before the phone call even. So whatever the case may be, if you want to listen to a Tom or something inspirational before picking up that phone, then do it. Anything that will get you going, that will activate you to be as excited and as enthusiastic as possible when picking up that phone. Whether it's listening to music, I find listening to music is a great tool that I use to get excited before phoning somebody. That's key. People will hear your excitement, and once they do that, people will catch onto that excitement. So be excited, be passionate, be yourself, and then rule number 4 is having a good posture. And what I mean by having a good posture, and this is something that JP actually spoke to me. He shared this skill with me, or this rule with me, a few months back, and this changed my entire approach to contacting somebody. Having posture actually means being bold, being confident in what you stand for, what you know, what you feel and think about this opportunity. Once again, your conviction. Be strong. Be strong on the phone. Don't once again detach yourself emotionally. Keep your posture. Always keep a good posture. And I think something with regards to posture, for me, this is something that you can ultimately learn over time, and it's a skill that you develop, and it comes with practice, But posture is very, very important in this business. Don't get involved in arguments or etc., etc., just because you feel like going on an ego trip. If somebody maybe rejects your opportunity, keep a good posture. You know what you stand for. You know who you are. You're not insecure, and you're confident enough to present your opportunity with as much posture and excitement as possible. So those are just 4 rules that I attached to the contacting process. I'm just going to go through them again. Rule number 1, get yourself out of the way. Go for no. Rule number 2 is to be yourself over the phone. Rule number 3, be passionate and excited, and rule number 4 is have a good posture. So those are stuff to think of, and I feel that's key to contacting somebody, and I feel that's really helped me, in this business especially. So I'm going to move on now to the actual skills of, what to say over the phone, or the actual doing of the process of a phone call. The necessary skills that you need to actually get somebody to review your opportunity. And I think this is important, guys. This is something that I feel we sometimes lack in our industry, and we speak about this often, but we really need to become the very, very best, the best we can be in this business. The best you that you can be, you need to become that person. So we need to, spend time learning the necessary skills to build this business proper. So I hope these skills will help you in the contacting and inviting. And once again, just 5 or 6 things, that I'm going to be sharing with you guys and teaching. So, when phoning somebody, always be in a hurry. That's skill number 1. Always be in a hurry. And I feel when you are in a hurry, people actually respect your time, and they know that you're serious about whatever business this is that you've gotten involved with. If they respect your time, that's something valuable. So always be in a hurry, and you can do that in different ways. Call somebody before you enter a meeting and say, listen, I'm in a hurry. I can't really talk right now, but I'd like to, etc., etc., etc. That's a very important tool. So that's the first skill, guys. Always be in a hurry. You don't want to get involved in a 5 to 10 minute conversation necessarily when contacting somebody to invite them to your opportunity, or to invite them to review a tool, because that actually gives the prospect time to start thinking negatively about what you're doing, or to make their own assumption and to make an uninformed decision about the opportunity that you have on offer. And that's actually when you lose people over the phone. So always be in a hurry. That's a very important skill. Skill number 2, or the second skill, when phoning somebody, is actually to compliment the person that you're phoning. I feel this helps very much, because in doing so, everybody loves being complimented, and in doing so, you actually telling this person over the phone that you respect them. So that's a great entry level, So when phoning somebody, tell this person, I've always respected your way of doing business. I know you're very experienced in your field, so I'd love to hear your opinion on this. Or, I've admired you as a friend. I respect your values and and what you stand for. Always very powerful complimenting somebody else. And I feel that's very, very valuable. So compliment your prospects when inviting them. Okay. The third skill is actually, the inviting process, or the script that you actually use, the punchline in terms of what this is all about. And there's different. I feel there's different approaches, and this is what I've learned over time with regards to actually getting to the punchline of what this is about. Obviously you've introduced yourself. The person knows who you are. You've complimented the person. The person is respecting your time because you've told him that you don't have a lot of time to speak. But now you're actually going to come to the punchline in terms of what this is. And you're going to model your own way of doing this. Obviously, I'm just going to share on what I use a lot of the times, which I feel works for me. So. For me, there are 2 types of approaches. Okay, it's always going to depend on who the person is on the other side of the telephone. This might be somebody it might be a good friend, or it might be somebody that you just met. Somebody. It might be a referral. It might be somebody who you've met once. So, and I feel that the invitation process is going to be different with regards to every person. So I'm going to give you a few examples on people that you might know personally and that you actually have a good relationship with. And I feel with these types of prospects, you can actually be a lot more direct in your approach. And when I say direct, I mean, because the person already trusts you and you have a good relationship with them and you actually know what's going on in their lives, you can actually tell this person something like, you know what, I've gotten involved in this absolutely amazing company, and I really think that your life could change getting involved as well. And I know that this is the opportunity that you've been looking for and that you actually need. It's sort of like a direct approach to getting people to review your opportunity. And this mostly works for me with people that you already know. I feel it's not really going to help, or it won't be as effective if you maybe use this direct approach with somebody who you don't have a great relationship with at that stage, or maybe somebody who you haven't spoken to for years. Telling that person all of a sudden, out of the blue, I know we've all felt this way, listen here, just got involved in something opportunity, this is going to change your life forever. You haven't seen this person in a few years. What trust is there behind that? So I feel with people who you don't necessarily have a great relationship with at that moment in time, you can actually use the indirect approach, or a more indirect approach. And then you can actually, use something like, for instance, what I use, which works, is, have you heard of Tom Shoes? Have you ever heard of Tom Shoes? And the person might say yes or no. And obviously, if the person says no, you're going to go, well, that's our company uses the exact same concept. So we actually have a donation through consumption program. What Tom Shoes used to do is that they, for every shoe that was bought, a child was sponsored with a pair of shoes. So the company I'm involved with is actually sponsoring a child for using our products every single month. Would you like to know more, or whatever the case may be? So that's more of an indirect approach. In using this approach, you actually, you want to give more guidance to this person. Then you can also use a super indirect approach. And this might be for people that you've just met, and a script that you can use with the super indirect approach is actually saying, straight up that, hi, I know that this opportunity is not for you at all, and I know you're very busy, but I would like to know if I can share this opportunity with you, so that with having in the back of my mind that you might know somebody who you can think of who would like to get involved. The super indirect approach. So using the indirect and the super indirect approach, you actually sort of like asking somebody for guidance, or asking somebody, listen, I know this is not for you, but I respect you as a friend, or I respect you as a businessman, and I would just actually like to hear your opinion on this business that I've gotten involved with. And because you've complimented them and you've actually said something respectable, they'd obviously want to review your business opportunity, or they might be curious. And in doing so, you can go and show them the business plan. So I feel that's three different types of approaches. The direct approach, people that you know well. The indirect approach, using something like Tom Shoes, for example, and the super indirect approach, this is really not for you, but maybe you can refer me to a few people down the line, or it's not for you, but I respect your qualities, and I'd like to know, what you think of it, and share your point of view on it. Okay, now another step, the next step, the fourth step, or the fourth skill, okay, is actually a very powerful concept, and this is a question that you'd ask somebody, and it's the concept of if I would you. Okay, so once you've sort of like made your pitch you've done the Tom's shoes or whatever the case may be, and you've got this person interested, you want to ask that person the next question. And this question would be the if I would you question. So, for instance, if I gave you a CD to listen to, would you have a look? Or if I invited you to an opportunity meeting, would you like to attend? Or if I, invited you to a 3-way call with one of my leaders in the business, would you like to do that? By doing this, instead of, asking people or nagging people to actually review a tool or to attend a meeting or whatever the case may be, you actually saying that if you do something, would they do something in return by using the if I would you principle. Okay, and this is a very powerful tool because you're actually committing somebody, to reviewing your tool. So by using if I would you, the person might say, yes, for sure, I'll review your tool. Okay, and then obviously there's a few things that you need to commit on afterwards. So after using the if I would you concept, you ultimately want to commit that person on a few things. So once the person said yes, let's use for an example, if I gave you a tool to listen to, would you review it? And the person says, yes, for sure, I'd review it. The next thing you want to ask that person is, okay, that's great. Tell me, when would be the best time for me to call you so that we can have a chat about what you've seen? Okay, so you actually want to commit them on a follow-up meeting or on the review of the tool that you're gonna be giving them. Okay, and I feel tools are a very, very powerful first step. When contacting somebody to share what you have to offer. Very, very powerful and very informing. And ultimately, you want to educate and inform people as much as possible. That should be our goal. So commit the person on a time and commit the person on a date. So if that person says, for example, you know what, I'll be able to have a look at it by Wednesday, your next question would be, okay, so tell me, if I called you on Thursday, would that be fine? And would you have reviewed it by then? And then the person would say, yeah, sure, okay, I'll review it. And then what you do then is you commit them on a time. So which time would be the best time for me to call you? And the person would say, okay, for instance, 5 o'clock. If I called you at 5 o'clock, would that be perfect for you to review the tool? Yes, 100%, that would be perfect. Now you've committed the person 3 times, to actually reviewing your tool, knowing when you're going to do the follow-up and knowing which time you're going to do it as well. And this is powerful, guys, because the prospect's been doing all the talking, or the person over the phone's been doing all the talking, and he's actually committed himself to reviewing what you have on offer. And I feel this is powerful. Instead of nagging somebody, oh, please come to this meeting, it's going to be so fantastic, or please just review this tool, it will change your life forever. I feel this works very well for me in this business. So use the if I would you principle. I feel it's very, very good. And then, guys, once you've got the commitment, just get off the phone. Get off the phone and move on to the next person. You don't want to drag the phone call out. Like I said in the beginning, the first skill, be in a hurry. Okay? Get off the phone and end it right there and then. You don't want to drag it out and leave room for any further questions, etc. You want to leave this person with as much curiosity as possible. So I hope this was very helpful for you guys. I'm going to go through these skills again once more. I'm just going to share them with you. Skill number 1 is always to be in a hurry. Okay. Skill number 2, compliment the person that you're going to be calling. Skill number 3, the invitation process, or the skill, the script that you're going to be using. So you can either use the direct approach, the indirect approach, or the super indirect approach. Skill number 4, using the if I would you principle, and then ultimately just get off the phone. So that's it from me, guys. I really hope this will be helpful in helping you to build this business and to go to the next level and to ultimately, share this with your teams so that we can become professional people, professional network marketers, and together go and change the world. Thank you very much. Thanks so much to my upline directors, Peter Lowe and JP Costa. Without you guys, I wouldn't have known anything, and especially not what I've been sharing on tonight. And also a great special thank you to Louis and Leonie van der Linde for the amazing system and inspiration and example that you set for all us leaders in South Africa. So thanks, guys.
The power of phone teams and the magic of phone teams and home meetings can really help you to achieve your goals and reach, do the maximum for this incentive that's ahead. Now, I want to talk from our example where we started just after the Super Regional in February, where we were also encouraged by Louis and Leonie to do a 3-month phone team and home meeting focus with our group. And I must say it really had a great effect on our business and creating momentum and excitement and growth in our group. So we started just after the Super Regionals. I've invited my group to our house on a Monday afternoon, and we said let's get together at 4:30, and we can start preparing from 4:30 to 5 o'clock, and then we can phone from 5 to 6 in the afternoon, because I think on a Monday from 5 to 6 people are driving home. It's your first day of the week is done, you're more relaxed, and people are willing to take a call, and especially if they get a call from a friend, they're willing to talk. So our experience for that was positive. We try to keep it in an hour so it's focused and effective. So that's where we started, and we also said let's have fun. So I ordered a pizza, and we had pizza while we were phoning. But just to come back to the first 30 minutes, the preparation. We've let all the people know, make sure that you've got a good names list when you come. The more people you have in your names list, the better chance you have to perform on this phone team session. So a good names list is important, but for those that didn't have a names list, they came and sat and did their names list. And I've experienced that the first session that someone attended the phone team was more finding your feet, finding your way, and the second session we had the people were more prepared. We had more people, more excitement. So it takes 1 or 2 sessions to get the ball rolling, but yes, just get it started. So I just want to talk about phone team. The main purpose of a phone team is to book a meeting, and so what we did is I've had a board flip chart where I wrote the meetings for the week, the open business meetings, so that people know where the open business meetings are. That's on the 3-point plan grid. And we also mentioned, we made sure that there's a home meeting planned for the week somewhere close to where we had our phone team. So either 1 or 2 home meetings was booked for the week, and we could put them on the board. We put the address and the person's name there at which home it was, and that was then also someone that was at the home meeting. So if it wasn't at our house, it would be at one of our downlines houses. But we try to get into the new people's house so that we can get the new people's names list at the home meeting. Okay, so the main purpose is to book a meeting. I would say that someone from national and above is qualified and equipped to host a phone team. And what I enjoyed about the phone team is it gave us an opportunity once a week to get together with our team, especially involve the new people and helping them to feel welcome and to get practical, because we talk about phoning at the monthly training. We talk about the 4 basics where we say the first step of the 4 basics is your names list. The second step is contact and invite. But people are challenged to do it practically. So we work together, we do it together, and we help each other to get over that fear. So that's a nice way to get together and work together. And also on the other sheet, I wrote draw a few columns where we said, okay, the first, I put everybody that's here on the phone team, I put them underneath each other. The second column is the yeses, then it's the no's, then it's the not now, then it's no answer, maybe, and bust. Now bust is if you phone someone and he's nasty with you, and like Jim Rohn say in his CD, says there's only 7 or 8 people, nasty people. You will find them, and they do move around a lot, but you get past them. You overcome that fear. And then we also had a column where we said if you send SMSs or WhatsApps, just to count them, but we didn't count them in the total. We just to acknowledge that. So that was the second paper. The third paper on the flip chart, I wrote time slots during the week that I am available to schedule one-to-one meetings with new members or existing members who want to go to a meeting with me. And also, if there was nationals and above available for with people in their team at the phone team, we also slotted them in, and we created, like, for instance, a Tuesday between 11 and 3, and we broke it up in 1-hour slots, and we made appointments, and so that allowed the new person to know what time in the week am I available, and when they phone someone, they could say, listen, I want to bring my my mentor with, and as soon as they made an appointment, they could write on the board and they could take the spot. So it's first come, first serve, and that worked quite well. What we also did is made 3-way calls. So there were some people in our team that's in quite remote places, and I said, well, you guys can partake as well. Luckily, on my phone contract with Celsia, I can make multiple calls on one line, so I can phone the associate, and then I can phone the person on their names list. So they send me their names list beforehand, or they give me the contact details. They ask that in the phone team session, when we do the calling, that I phone that associate, and that they can listen in. I can introduce them. We can talk together. So the 3-way call was also a nice way to contact people. So in the hour from 5 to 6, we started calling. People were all over the place. Some sat at one table, other people in the garden, other people all over the place. But we phoned, and it was a nice buzz. People enjoyed it. They came back and put their scores on the board, and we gave high five for a yes. And and if someone wanted to take a break, we had a pizza. So that was nice. And we also said beforehand that the person that makes the most calls, that's got the biggest count. So it means it's not just the yeses. If you on all these categories, as I said, yes, no, not now, no answer, bust, maybe, but we didn't count the SMS and the WhatsApp. If you have the highest count, you're the winner. So if you have a good names list and you're ready and you can phone, you've got a good chance to win the pizza prize for the day. So yeah, maybe you don't like pizza, then if it's your phone team, get something that works for you, or maybe a Manatech product. That's a good idea. But whatever you can incorporate to make it exciting. So for now, I want to stop there, and I want to give over to Breg, my wife, who was part of the phone teams, and I want to ask her just to share from her experience how she experienced the phone teams. Over to you, Breg.
Good evening, everybody. It's nice to have this conversation with you and just share what we've experienced. I just want to start off by saying the main purpose that I believe with the phone team is there's a saying that say, do not let your fear of what could happen make nothing happen. And that is something that we found over the years, that a lot of new people aren't used to phoning people to get appointments and make meetings, and their background hasn't been like that in the previous occupations or whatever it may be. But we in this business are in the business of duplicating, and that's what the phone team actually just it's creating a habit of success. And we also found that it's always easier to do difficult things with somebody else than to do it on your own. You would have found that in your life. I really find out, I've experienced that in my life. And that's what I think we mustn't forget in this business, is that if we enroll a brand new business builder, is to keep in mind people are different and people are from different backgrounds. So the phone team is just one of those steps to enable somebody to overcome some of their own fears. And part of this phone team is to help the upline, helping their new downline to overcome this specific fear, and not actually do the actual phoning, but to just support them. And we've seen it over the years in the networking business, that a lot of excited people can be reduced in moments to a mass of fear and self-doubt after a few rejections. And that's one of the things that you can also do when you're having a phone team. You are with that brand new person or somebody who's been in the business for a while and their contact and inviting just wasn't working. So you are next to that person, and if they experience something bad, you are there to tell them it's not that bad, and you can take them over that hurdle. That friendly device called a telephone can in a matter of moments become a monster, and that monster is standing between them and unlimited financial success. And I just want to say that I've read that in the entrepreneurial industry, 85% of what creates wealth in a business are the actions of setting up appointments and sharing the opportunities to others. So if somebody is not able to set up those appointments, to get the people to the meetings, to get people to sit in front of them to show the plan, then they are not going to be able to create wealth. And that is what we've done by creating the phone teams in the past, is we're helping our new associates to overcome their fear and with the contact and inviting. And if you don't do that, they will fail miserably, and then the business will not work for them. And then you'll hear the stories, it didn't work, but it's because they didn't master this skill that is actually so easy when you've done it a few times. And the purpose of that is just to say that we take the new person's hand and we help them over that first hurdle. And I just want to talk about my personal experience being at the phone team. And it's so amazing when you sat next to a new associate and you just listen to their first call. It's just if that new person is just immediately a little bit more confident in themselves when you sat next to him. It's just that amazing thing of being able to work in a team. And we must remember, we in this business, that we're working in teams, and this is where it first started. It's like that first little hurdle that new person just need to get over. As soon as they've overcome that hurdle, it's that if they can fly. And you will see it, as soon as they've done their second and their third call, the anxiousness starts to vanish, and they seem to, okay, this is not that difficult. And the fact is, the phone team help a lot of people into action. And that's sometimes a lot of people you will find. They will go to a meeting, you'll see them at a meeting, you'll see them at the meeting, and they don't have new people with them. And it's actually because they are too scared to phone. And especially in these days where people are working a lot on the internet with WhatsApps and messages and email, people are difficult to voice their actual invitation over the phone to a new person. And what we also try with the phone teams is to try to keep it simple for that new person. Keep in mind, you only want an appointment, and you do not want to explain the business over the phone or over WhatsApp or over email. The main thing is to keep that person, to listen to a person and help them to stop at the crucial point. The fun part of the phone team effort is the conclusion and the sharing, as Sebastian have just said, about the successes and the failures. Everybody learn from each other. After the phone team, people discuss what have been difficult, what have been easy, what worked for them. And we found that new person who joined that phone team will come the first time and then a second time to the phone team, but then they are able to continue on their own. And that is the magic of our network marketing business. We learn from our upline, as we've learned lots of years ago, that the phone team is the essential part of getting people to your meetings. And we've learned from books and CDs. And that helped us to learn what we've learned. And then what we only do with the phone teams, as you'll realize, we are just teaching other people to do what we've learned to do. So I want to encourage everybody, if you're battling to get people to your new meetings, just start by doing a phone tip with your existing people, and you'll see you'll just reap a lot of success out of that effort. Thank you very much. Enjoy the rest of it.
Great, thank you, Breg. It was so nice to actually see, as Breg said, if you sit next to someone or stand next to someone who's phoning, is to experience their excitement, to experience their challenges, and help them through that. So I just want to give you some stats with our first phone team sessions just after the February Super Regional. At the first phone team, we had about 8 people together. In that hour, we made 55 calls, and of that 55 calls, we got 24 yeses. Now, that could mean that someone will come to an open meeting, or come to a home meeting, or have a one-to-one appointment, but there was a positive response. And then the one just thereafter, we had 13 people. We made 143 calls, and we got 37 yeses. So with that, I want to show you, or I hope you get the message that this is really this is a way to give your business a fast start. Well, let me rather say, for the new person, I want to suggest that you find your first upline leader who does phone teams, and you ask him that you want to partake in that phone team. And to the existing leaders that's doing phone teams or not doing phone teams, I want to encourage you, try it for a focused period, to get some focus in this basic activity. Get your people together, get them excited, and help them with a fast start in their business. And as I said, the purpose of the phone team is to book a meeting. So you've got to have a home meeting planned, so that the people can invite everybody just quickly on the home meeting. Keep it as simple as possible. You can stick to an hour. Brief your host how to introduce you, you as the leader, and then you as the leader of the speaker at that home meeting. So it helps the new person that he doesn't have to know everything. So you're standing in for him, and then just stick to water, tea, and coffee, maybe cookies if you have. You can sit around the dining room table, do it in a comfortable place, and have some extra chairs available somewhere that you can easily get hold of them if there's more people than you expected. Remember, the host never apologize in front of the people for those people that didn't pitch up. The important people are those that are there, and if nobody comes, then you and your upline leader have a good training session. So it doesn't matter how the home meeting ends. It's the fact that you have a home meeting, and keep that momentum. So we had a phone team every Monday, and we had 1 or 2 home meetings in the week. So that's how we got started and how we created momentum. Okay, so I just want to also refer to the success circle that Leonie talked about to us at a leadership meeting. Is that this is part of the success circle. If you can draw the picture in your mind, on top is the dream and the why. Now, as we explain when we have the meeting, that's a very important part of getting the motivation there. Then that leads to the system on the right hand in the middle. The system. Now, this is the home meeting, or the phone team in the home meeting is part of the system. So you're creating a little system within your business that leads to enthusiasm. this creates enthusiasm. The people see it works, and it creates momentum. So from that enthusiasm, the next step is it leads to action. So this is an action part, and that will go back to the dream, make the dreams come true. So that's the circle of success: is the dream, system, enthusiasm, and action. So this is a crucial part of that success circle. So yes. What it did for us is it helped us to focus. It helped us to pull our people together. It helped the new people to get going, and it creates that momentum and excitement that you want in your business for a focused period, as I already mentioned. So determine for yourself when and how you want to do it and how often. I think a good time is, or a good period is between 2 to 3 months, and then what also happened is you create a culture in your team. So from the meetings that phone meetings we had at our home, some of our leaders duplicated that and started their own phone teams and their own home meetings. So you want that it's an easily duplicatable system, and that creates new leaders, and it creates momentum in your business and sustainability, and that's what you want. So for me, I just want to end off with that a quote from Ivan Meisner that said, "Culture eats strategy for breakfast." We can strategize about our business forever, but if we don't get to a point where we start getting action, start doing the basics, and create momentum. And create a culture, then your business will stagnate and most probably die down slowly. So whenever you're at a point where you want to create this momentum, start the phone team, do it for a while, get your leaders to do it with you, and get your new people going. So from our side, thank you for this opportunity. We hope that this session helped the new people to understand where the phone teams fit in, and the need for home meetings. So as quickly as possible, start doing your own home meetings. And for the existing leaders, I hope this inspires you to take this and do your own phone teams and home meetings, and it will help you to grow, because in the end we want to work towards Louis Leone's goal that we can all help to feed 1 million malnourished kids. That is part of the Mission 5 Million of Manatech, to feed 5 million kids. And with Louis Leone, they want to their team to feed 1 million kids. So we want to grow our businesses for the bigger picture, for the bigger why, so that we can make a difference in this world.
Hi, this is Ruben Miller, and I'm so excited to be with you today. I'm so excited to share with you the second secret of the 4 basics. It's called contact and invite. Now, myself and Christelle, we have learned from our amazing mentors, Vincent and Yolandi van der Linde, and they've guided us, they inspired us, and sometimes they've pushed us to be the best that we can be. And we are so grateful for them. Thank you so much, Vince and Yolandi. We love you, and we thank you for all the input that you've been in our business. So for me, contact and invite is really such an amazing place to start, because this is the key that really activates this business for me. This is the key that I can use to help people to activate their businesses. So immediately I want you to understand that contact and invite is not about me. It's about how I can help others to gain the momentum and start their businesses with contact and invite. So I want to make this meaningful for you. So what do? Basically, if we take in a new associate that I've, let's say, registered, a guy called Tony, I would have a session with Tony within a couple of days and say, Tony, well, let me show you exactly what this business looks like, and I'll briefly go through the 4 basics. Because what I want to do is I want to establish, Tony's got his names list there, which is the first part of the 4 basics. And I want to take the names list and I want to classify the names list into product users and business builders. So I'm going to ask Tony, which of these people on your names list do you know has got health, concerns, or they need the product, or they would really be interested in getting better health? And I'll indicate them as product users. And some of the people on the list, who would you think would have potential to build a business that would be interested in this? And why that is important is because in this business, you'll have product users and business builders. Because it's sort of like going out on a canoe on a lake. You've got to paddle, and you're going to paddle left for product users, right for business builders. You're going to paddle product users and business builders, because the product users helps to grow your turnover, and the business builders is there to create leverage in your business that you can help develop them into leaders in your business to get to the place where you're going to have a lot of product users coming into your business through these business builders and leaders. So immediately after I've qualified the names list, I want to move into the contact and invite. Now, sometimes this is, I call it the key in the business. Sometimes it's the fear that people has got placed upon phoning other people. And I want to immediately help them. So as an active upline, I want to sit with the new associate, Tony, and say, Tony, let's sit down and phone a couple of these people. So before we phone, it's important to understand that there's 2 ingredients that you need to contact and invite people. The first ingredient is your excitement, and the second one is your conviction. So the excitement is where you can be any type of personality. But what I find is that you need to really just go to the next level with your excitement. Because if you phone your friends and family and people that you know, and you've gotten this excitement, imagine you found a farm that's got all the diamonds that is still hidden on the farm. And you phone your family and you phone your friends and you say, wow, I'm so excited. They need to pick up the tremor in your voice. They need to feel that you've got something that you're excited about. And the conviction is that you believe in the product. You believe in what you've got in your hand. So basically what I say is you create the excitement when you phone and contact somebody. So as I said, there's product users, there's business builders. What I do is I like to help my new associate, call him Tony, to phone a couple of the product users and just introduce them to the product. So what I would do is, and you can check with your upline what script or dialogue you want to use, but I usually would phone a new person. Let's say his name is George. I would say, hey, George, I'm so excited. I found this amazing product that's making real impact on my life or other people's health. And George, if I give you a DVD or a CD, would you look at it and give me your opinion about it? You see, what I've done is I've eliminated the selling part, because all I'm looking for is I've got a relationship with George and I just want him to have a look at information and give me his opinion about it. And this is so profound because I'm not coming across as selling something. And what I can do is Tony, my new associate, can go through his day and give out a couple of DVDs or CDs and ask people that, just to give them their opinion about the product, about the CD, about the DVD. Or he can phone people up, which is not in his close vicinity, and get the CDs or DVDs out to them and give it to them. Now, what is really important about this process is when Tony is giving out the CDs or the DVDs, he must help the new person to commit to a date and time that Tony is going to collect the CD or the DVD and get the feedback. Because I'm asking you to have a look at it and give me your opinion about it. So obviously, let's commit to a date and time when I'm going to get it back and get your opinion about it. Because if I don't put a DVD in somebody's hand and ask them for a date and time to collect it, it would be all the same as just to put some DVDs or CDs in post boxes. It's really not effective. And I want this new person to understand that he's going to be effective in helping his friends and family and people that he knows to serve them with a product. So that's sort of on the product side. On the business side is where I want to introduce people to this business opportunity. Now, again, when I phone people, I want to keep it short. And I usually like to get started with the reason that I call. So I'll have a quickly, hi, how's it going, lekker? And then what I'll do is I'll say, well, the reason that I call. Now you can check with your upline, whatever dialogue and script works for you best. But what I like to do is I don't like to call this a business opportunity. The introduction that I would like to give is to call this a part-time developing an income generating asset. Because this is in essence what we do. We share in the global turnover of Manatech. And I like to give people the opportunity to also develop an income generating asset. So the real key to activate this business for me is the contact and invite. So at this point, I'm helping somebody, sitting with him, helping him to overcome the fear of phoning. And I want to help him to build a big business, because if I can help him to overcome this fear of phoning and to activate this, I can help him to build a massive business. So when I sit with somebody and we get to the point where we're going to phone about 3 or 5 or 10 people, it's that place where I'm going to inspire him to phone people. Because he's going to book the meetings, I'm going to go with him to the meetings, and that's going to be just activating the business for him. Because as soon as the meeting is booked, it's amazing. People will just pitch up at the meeting. If I'm Tony and I phone you as my friend, and I'm going to get a meeting, I know Tony's going to be at the meeting, because it's easy to arrive at the meeting. But sometimes it's difficult to phone people to get the meeting. So I want to help them to phone and get the meeting. So what if the person, let's say Tony, my new associate, is not with me? I want to be on Skype, maybe he's in another country. I want to help him to understand the 4 basics, to understand the contact and invite, to go through the classification of product users and business builders. And then I want to say, well, while we're on the Skype call, I want you to phone about, 3 or 5 of these people. And again, guide them, inspire them through the process. I'm going to give you 4 tips that's really worked well for me in my business, and which I'm still using in my business. I'm implementing it in with my teams, and it's really, really, really effective. And tip number 1 I want to give you is, if people would ask me, Ruben, what about people that I've talked to many years ago? I want to say, well, if you've got people that you've maybe contacted or seen 10 and 20 years ago, it's really effective to use this one line that I often use. I'll get the person's details. Let's say, ask them, listen, hey, I want to connect with you. Give me your details. They'll send me the information. And I phone them up and I say the following. I say, let's say it's George again. Hi, George. You know what? When I got up yesterday morning, I was thinking about you. And I leave this pause afterwards, because I was really yesterday morning when I got up thinking about them. Yeah, I added them to my names list, but when I got up, I was thinking about them, because the value that I've got in my hand with Manatech and the opportunity will help them, set them free financially, and would get them to a place where they can also have freedom in their lives. So when I say that I was getting up and I was thinking about them, I really mean it. And that creates a pause, which usually gets the response of the person saying, wow, what were you thinking about? And at that point, I can again say, well, the reason that I'm calling is that I've got this amazing opportunity and I'm helping people to develop this income generating asset. And it gives me opportunity to book a meeting and get together and show this person what I do. So I like to keep the chit chat really short. This whole call must be a minute and 2 minutes at maximum, because I want to really get to people and help them to understand the value that we've got in our hands. That's tip number 1. Tip number 2 I'm going to give you is, when I go out with a new associate to show the plan, we've booked some meetings, we've sit down, we phoned. Right after the show the plan, when we walk to the car and we're alone there, I want to say, well, let's take out the names list again. We're together now. And I want to, again, go through the contact and invite, because I want him to create a habit of constantly looking at his names list and constantly phoning people to set up new appointments. So I'm literally saying, well, let's phone 2 or 3 people now and book some more appointments. So that's really what's working well for me. Tip number 3 is 2 a day brings freedom your way. It's amazing when you set out and say, I want to phone 2 new people a day. You're going to have so many meetings. You're going to have so much growth in your business in the next year to 3 years. You're going to have a massive business. Because the old saying goes, an apple a day keeps the doctor away. But it's not effective to have 7 apples on a Sunday, is it? So in this business, continuous effort, 2 a day, will bring freedom your way. I love this quote by Winston Churchill that says, continuous effort, not strength or intelligence, is the key to unlocking your potential. And let's unlock our potential by phoning people every day. This brings me to key number 4, or tip number 4, is there's a golden hour that I've discovered that works really, really, really effective as I've been building my business. And that is between 7 and 8 a.m. in the mornings. Because the question is, what are you doing between 7 and 8? Most people start work at about 8 in the morning. Some people start work at 9. What is the golden hour before that? Because are you in traffic on your way to work? Are you reading the newspaper? Are you preparing for your day? Whatever you're doing, if you get a phone call of somebody offering you, introducing you to something that can give you a income generating asset, that could be something that can set you free financially. I've usually find is that time in the morning is where I can, first of all, get hold of a lot of people, and second of all, before the day and the heaviness of the day is upon them, I can help them to get a meeting to get together for the day. So I trust that Contact and Invite, what I've shared with you today, is of value, and that it would help you to build a massive business and to help your team and others to do the same.